Being in track, in the bread of my baby. And I have to feel for that.
We got it too. Right, we extra
Justice for myself.
Absolutely.
You deserve it. You deserve
I'm thankful for everybody that came out.
This is how we come together. This is how we come together.
Peace and blessings, glory, glory to the eternal living God. It is your brother Jehoshaphat Israel here in the house that God has made. And when this incident had happened, I never seen Chicago enraged the way that it is. When I went to work the day after this had happened, everybody was talking about it. You know what I'm saying? That's the first thing early in the morning time. And then it continued all day. What they would have had did, how bad their parents are, what's going to happen to them people. You know what I'm saying? So I just sit back and I just listen to all my coworkers, my family, whatever was said about this incident. And one of the scriptures that I'm going to hold on tonight is to spare the rod is to spoil the child. I got to put that in there, you know what I'm saying? Just to know, let you know what I think. Okay, I'm going to peel back the veil and we're going to get real deep seated in this conversation to see why. Is the parents supposed to be blamed? Is it the children? Is it our society in whole? We're going to go over all these things on the night show. It's going to take some time. I would have had made this alive, but I like the imagery that I'm able to show you so it can better clarify what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? What I'm talking about. So let's go ahead and get into this.
The phrase smacking ban is such an appalling phrase and so misleading, because we've just had a whole conversation here about something that is not on the table in these reforms. Pulling someone back from a fire, pushing someone to protect them, that's something you can do to an adult. That's protected in law. What we're talking about here is removing a loophole in the law that gives parents a defence to assault on the basis of imposing reasonable discipline. And let me give you an example of some things that have been considered reasonable discipline and that the laws have allowed. Hitting children with a belt, hitting children with kitchen implements, whipping children with laptop cables or phone cables even. All of these things have been considered reasonable discipline and are currently permitted under the law.
Seriously?
Really? Yeah, really. So what's being
hitting? Really? Because I always, whenever we have phone-ins on this subject, I always differentiate between hitting and smacking. Because I mean, hitting is by definition violent. Smacking isn't that.
Dang, it must be 9 o'clock. Okay, now here in America, we live in America. This is a topic that needs to be talked about. This needs to be some more clarity brought into the conversation. Now, we live in America. Kids go to schools and shoot each other in schools all the time. We live in America. Children kill parents. Children also, they just kill randomly people. You know what I'm saying? Children do kill randomly people here in America. Adults kill children. And you'd be like, what do you mean? I'm not talking about so much as like child abuse. I'm just talking about the physical action of murder. You know what I'm saying? Here in America, you know what I'm saying? You have all these people who end up killing children. And it's the same way with the kids. The kids end up killing the parent, the bystander, the good Samaritan. This is where we live. So when you have a conversation like this, who's to blame? Is it the parents? Is it the children? Just remember that this is America and these things happen and they've been happening here in America. Let's go into it.
In a little girl private area, ages 8, 9, and 10, 2 boys, 1 girl. So those 3 took her daughter away far in the field.
That's my first child, and my first child is born.
They was putting sticks in a little girl private area.
So you can see here in America, kids kill other kids. This is an actual thing that's in our society because not everybody is mentally sane.
love you, and you took his life. That was an abuse of force, Taylor. You must pay for this.
A military veteran has been charged with murder after shooting and killing 3 teenagers who broke into his home. The parents of the teens are now demanding that the court sentence the veteran to death. According to police in Georgia, the 3 masked teens showed up at the veteran's home.
They kicked in the front door and entered the home to rob it, unaware that the homeowner...
So the bigger question to be asked is, when does an adult have the right to defend themselves? We see in the states and the local principalities of their judgment, they went real hard on the parents for being able to discipline a child. So is this something that was breathed into the society from the neglect of I can't really say neglect, but the neglect of the parent being able to discipline the child? Who is to fall to blame for that? Is it the state? Is it the parent? Am I sitting here saying that some of the things that American people do in disciplining their children is right? No, it is not. You know what I'm saying? It is a lot of criminal behavior when it comes to disciplining a child and the ruthless things that a person will do. Every year we hear about a man killing his kids. Every year we hear about a mother killing her kids in the most ruthless, most maniacal, most deadliest way, shape, form, or fashion. We see that in the news with parents. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say, you know what I'm saying, not all parents know how to discipline in the right fashion. But just because I say that doesn't change the fact that children kill adults here in this country. It happens all the time. All the time. You look up. It's Saturday. What happened on the news? What was on the newspaper? Something so damn tragic and something so damn horrific.
A group of teenagers poured cold water on a stranger and then were shot dead. The video showed an angry homeowner walking out of the door with a weapon. A 16-year-old boy named Agus was at the end of the group when he was unfortunately shot while fleeing. The other teenagers heard the sound and immediately scattered and ran away, but Agus died due to severe injuries. When the police arrived at the scene, they immediately arrested the homeowner and stated that these teenagers had not been harassing neighbors for the first time. They often knocked on the door in the early morning and then ran away immediately, causing trouble for the entire community. Previously, people had warned them many times, but they still...
Okay, that's bad. That's bad. But that's not worth a life. But some of these kids, you know what I'm saying, they're not like us. These new generations that come up behind us, little things that we did that we thought were funny, they wouldn't even think that it was funny like that. So they're a new breed of a generation of kids, and the things that we did because we antagonized the establishment, all of the elders and the adults. We did pranks and we did little stuff, but we were never on the level of what these kids said. Now, back to the man, these kids got to understand, you know what I'm saying? Especially if they black kids. Going to somebody's door and beating down their door, acting like you're going to bust in it. A normal person is going to act like you're an assailant. You're a robber. You're trying to get in. But in these kids' mind, they don't think the actions that they do, they don't think it all the way through like that. That's why in this country, you always see teens dying every single year playing childish games with adults. And they end up being unalived all the time. In this country, children will kill. They will kill an adult to save the lives of their family. Are they wrong for that? I don't think so, family. I don't think so. But it has to be some reform in the kids if they're going to survive. What it looks like now, like they're not taking their lives serious like that. But the question is still posed for tonight. When does an adult have the right to defend themselves against a minor? Is it legally, can an adult defend themselves against an assailant? Teens, however it might be, teens trying to assault that person, and then the ramifications of it. Now, everything that's been floating around the internet is them kids need their ass whooped. And it just goes back to what God said in the first time when he said to spare the rod is to spoil the child. How could you not agree with that? But the discipline, it goes back into the word of God as well. Let's keep going.
Teach y'all kids to keep their motherfucking hands to themselves. Teach y'all kids to keep their motherfucking hands to themselves. Because everybody ain't gonna spare them. There's some folks, if your child touch their child, they gonna come whoop your child ass and be waiting on you to come act like you wanna do something, turn around and whoop your ass right out there. So you better talk to your goddamn child and tell them keep their goddamn hands to themselves. Teach y'all kids.
Just like I tell the brothers, I'll be like, man, don't mess with that woman because she gonna sit up there, she got a mouth on her, and she gonna end up getting you in trouble. A lot of people don't listen, but that's the unspoken rule of a man. If your girl come over to me and she talking smack to me and she put her hands on me, I'm gonna put my hands on you. That's an unspoken rule that we as men, we follow. A lot of people, they gonna follow that rule. Look what our brother's saying. He's saying that the kids, if your kid beat up his kid, he gonna come to your house and he gonna beat you up. That's how people think.
Update on them badass kids from Chicago that need BTA. Here we go. This is one of the ignorant parents stating that her daughter is a cheer captain and an A&B student and she doesn't owe anybody an apology. Well, I told y'all doing a piss poor job because you're piss poor people. Yes, St. Patrick, you're a major part of the problem and I can't wait until you're charged with criminal stuff too. This little girl's mom was more concerned with us being nice to her than what her daughter did. Her daughter laughed and snickered and covered her face the whole time she was doing the video. Did some little fake crocodile tears. Girl, nobody care about all that. Get out of here.
You know the whole city of Chicago looking for you, right?
Me too.
You and your little friends. Because you was grown yesterday. You were grown. And you was going to do somebody. So now they looking for you. You know that, right?
Hold them accountable.
You know I'm not.
Does she look like she'll really follow what the Bible says? Do not withhold discipline from a child. If you strike him with a rod, he will not die. You shall strike him with a rod to deliver his soul from Sheol. Now, the Bible says, as far as a grown man, to make a grown man not be evil, you have to beat him. Why would it be any different with a child? But the question that I ask is, does she look like she's going to discipline that child? Does she look like that child gonna have any punishments, any ramifications if these things are not brought to her from her school and the law itself? To me, just looking in at the lady, looking in at the sister, she doesn't look like she disciplines her child. She doesn't look like she really trains up a child in the way that they're supposed to go. Look what scripture says, Proverbs chapter 22, verse 6. Train up a child in the way he should go. Even when he is old, he will not depart from it. So it does fall on the parenting, but the parents should not be the full extent of the blame. That's what I'm explaining to you, because what else does God says? A son should not have to pay for the crimes of his father. The father should not have to pay for the crimes of the son. So we have to separate them and know that both parties are a failure. You know what I'm saying? Both parties. And does it stem back to the government? This lady, she doesn't even look like she disciplines any children, even though she has them. I could be wrong. I'll let you be the judge of that.
A 13-year-old boy took a gun from his hesitant mother and shot an intruder. Now the boy faces a murder charge.
They are framing him. He has a child on the way. He is not a bad man.
Late Friday night, Louise, his mother, and 4 sisters returned home to find a man attempting to break in. The man initially knocked, then broke a window to force his way inside, ignoring the family's warnings to leave. Louise and his mother confronted the intruder. The mother, holding a gun, struggled to dial 911. Louise then took the gun from her and shot the intruder multiple times in the abdomen and right arm. Police arriving at the scene found the man with several gunshot wounds. He was rushed to the hospital and identified as 35-year-old Juan Saavedra. Saavedra claimed he was drunk and not fully aware of his actions. However, his family accuses 13-year-old Luis of intentional homicide and demands he pay for Saavedra's hospital bills. Law enforcement reviewed the 911 call and determined Luis acted in legitimate self-defense. Luis and his mother will not be charged, while one faces charges for attempted burglary. Do you believe the judge's ruling?
Now, not too long ago in Chicago, it was the same type of incident. It wasn't a home invasion. It was just the mother trying to get some food, and then the brother going off and assaulting the mother, and then the son shooting the brother who was sitting over there fighting that woman like she was a grown-ass man. Now, I can't be mad at these children for protecting their parents. I cannot. You know what I'm saying? The young man, at the chicken spot not too long ago that defended the life of his mother against a evil man. That boy, to me, that little boy had every right to defend his mama. Just like in the incident you see right before your face, that man was trying to break in and do God's know what. So this is why I say children kill adults every year. You know what I'm saying? This is we live in America. You know what I'm saying? This is something that is not uncommon, but it still goes back to the question that I posed tonight. When does an adult have the right to defend himself against a minor? And they'd be like, well, you know, Jehoshaphat, you know, ass whooping to change everything. You know, if you put the belt to the ass to them kids, they wouldn't act like that. Okay, for you saying that, then you're saying that all those parents of them children are horrible. By you saying that, you know what I'm saying? I can't say you wrong for that, brother. You know what I'm saying? To spare the child is to spare the rod is to spoil the child. I believe you. I understand. But let's go back to the parents. It's in the world that we live in now, it's only so much you can do. A lot of people said, well, you know, Jehoshaphat, what if she pulled out a gun and started shooting them kids? To me, she would have every right to defend herself and her family. What your brother tell you, just because people grow up don't mean that they get mature. Everybody knows to keep their damn hands to their damn self. But you see, and you know what pisses me off about covering this story at the beginning of the week? I already told y'all how it is. I already told y'all for the true children of God. I told y'all that it's been prophesied. You know what I'm saying? A woman should be the head. We live in America, in a relationship between a black man and a black woman. The man ain't the head. That was prophesied. It was prophesied that we shall fear the children. Look at how they acting. It's a sign of times. Look at how they acting. You know what I'm saying? You can't tell me all of that came from them people's house. They just have horrible ass children that run wild in the street, and there's nothing in law to stop these little monsters. They got the law on their side like that. That's what I'm saying to you. They got the law. Them kids know that a regular adult cannot really defend themselves against a child. The children, they exploit the hell out of that, knowing the law. What the first thing them little badass kids to tell your ass? I'll call CPS. I'll call the police.
Saying you defended yourself against as a minor, does that change the law, or does the law look at that any differently? Technically, no. So if you're allowed to defend yourself, if you were in fear of death or serious bodily injury, doesn't matter if the person is a minor or an adult. But the difficult part is if the jury is going to have to analyze whether or not you were reasonable or not. If a person on the other side is a minor, is smaller.
So it sounds like it sounds like the same comparisons as in defending yourself with a firearm. That's how we got to look at it as an adult. You know what I'm saying? Anything. What is the situation with a firearm that you can defend yourself? When you're dealing with these children, these little badass little kids. Now, from what he said it's not illegal, but they're going to look at it. They're going to scrutinize it no different than a murder charge with a person trying to defend themselves against an assailant. That's how they're going to look at it in court.
Or younger, less threatening, you may be less likely to be found reasonable in having used deadly force. Person, you defended yourself.
Yes. Yes. I think.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, should be illegal.
Oh, yeah, of course.
I think it is.
If I told you that there's currently a loophole called reasonable punishment, which means hitting a child can be legal, how does that make you feel?
Well, for me, it doesn't make sense. A minor cannot defend themselves, so I think this law should be changed.
Pretty sad. Don't love the idea that
anybody should be able to defend themselves. That's why things have to change in the law. This is America. You know what I'm saying? Why these people don't understand that it's horrible people out there that kill children all the time. Why wouldn't I want children not being able to defend themselves? I want these kids to be able to defend themselves because of the world that we live in. Okay, back to the adult people. Children murder grown-ups all the time. Why would I look at another adult and say you can't defend yourself against a child and this person is trying to do some bodily damage or bodily harm to you? Am I the type of person that believes in child abuse? No, I am not. I do not believe in child abuse, but I do believe to spoil the child is to spoil is to not hit him with that damn rod. You know what I'm saying? I believe that you should train a child up in the way that he can go so he will not depart from your teaching. To spoil the child is to spare the rod. I truly believe that. But it's the fact that some people, they beat and they abuse children all the time.
Anyone gets to hit anybody, really, especially a child?
That feels unjust.
Angry. You should never hit a child. The way they see life is going to be with fear and misunderstanding.
She said, you should never hit a child. That's what she said. You know what I'm saying? But it just goes back into the word of God. If you don't beat them up, well, I can't even say beat them because it's ways that he said it that is a fairity. Let's go back to some scriptures. Do not withhold discipline from a child. If you strike him with a rod, he will not die. You shall strike him with a rod, and by that deliver his soul from Sheol. How could you argue against that? A lot of people would. Now, the same people, like this lady said, you shouldn't hit a kid. She be the same people that be getting hit and busted in the head with a rock. She the same people that be getting carjacked. She the same people that be trying to go with her groceries, getting in her car, and she just got jacked by a little kids. So should an adult be able to defend himself against a child? Should a child be able to defend themselves against a grown-ass assailant? I think so. It's just the fact that the rules, you know what I'm saying, the rules have changed.
It shouldn't exist, to be honest.
Children should be afforded every right that adults are afforded.
Yes.
And if they are afforded them same laws, it should be the same way, vice versa. Vice versa. If they got the same laws that we got to follow, they got to follow the laws too. But then you see, they give them a little spank, give them a little spank on their bottom, give them a little slap on their hand, give them a little community service, like in the incident with baby girl. You ain't heard nothing about no community service at all. Summer school, nothing. You ain't heard nothing about disciplinary actions being taken over this incident. The kids kicked out of school. When I was cutting up in school, they kicked me out of school. And they sent me to a continuation school. You ain't heard nothing like that about the case with them kids. They ain't getting kicked out. They ain't getting expelled. They ain't getting expended. They ain't getting no juvenile sentences. They should get some sentences. You be like, oh, Jehoshaphat, those was babies. Those was only 10 and only 9. When I cut up out in the world, they arrested me for it. So why wouldn't I think anybody else shouldn't go to jail? Shouldn't have to pay restitution for what they have done. Now, in instance like this, you get them kids the most horrible jobs as community service. What they do to you, Jehoshaphat, they had me over in the Fresno stables cleaning up horse shit all summer long, and they stuck big ass numbers on me to where I would never be able to complete that time because it'd be like working a full-time job. So if they use the law against us with disciplining the children, you should use the law against the children that have infringed and infracted the law.
I thought that corporal punishment in school was banned federally. My mistake. I'm working on creating
So what happened? And you know, I come from the old school, family. I come from the old school where teachers, they had to right to use corporal punishment in school. I kid you not, them teachers be fighting. You know what I'm saying? Them teachers be hitting you. And you don't want to go to the damn principal office because it's mandatory for him to have a paddle in there. And if you don't know what a paddle is, you might as well say it's a little baseball bat that they're going to beat you with. What happens so differently in the world to where teachers, they don't have that right? Corporal punishment was taken out of not only the rights from the parents had the right to discipline their children. Also in the schools, corporal punishment was done away with. Why?
To bring awareness to the history they did not want to teach you. And as I am researching, I found out that corporal punishment is still legal in 17 states. Let me read you the list. Alabama, no surprise. Arkansas, Georgia, Mississippi, Texas, Oklahoma, Tennessee, Kentucky, Indiana, South Carolina, Missouri, Louisiana, Wyoming, and Arizona. You guessed it, the most people that are affected by this is Black, brown, and the disabled children. I'm sorry, I thought y'all were the party of family and pro-life, but y'all ain't pro-life, y'all are anti-abortion, because y'all don't give a fuck about life. And to make matters worse, the National Education Association says that still 14 of those states are actively using corporal punishment as of last motherfucking year. Just wanted to share this with you because evil never sleeps. And I don't either, to make sure you follow me because you may not.
You've seen the bigger problem that they created. They created this problem that you see. This is why you see so much chaos in the schoolhouse. No discipline, no regulations, nothing implemented on the parent to where they can really tell their kid, hey, you disrespect up at school, I'm gonna tear your little ass up. The teacher sitting up over there is, hey, I have the right to discipline you. Would children act differently in society? But then you know what the word it says as far as in destiny. Men's heart has grown wax cold, and they have become lovers of oneself. So how would our children, if that's the parents, if that's the adults, why wouldn't that rub off on the kids? It is said that people will grow so damn cold in the last days, in the turning of the century, in the turning of the new millennium, the great reset. Before that time comes, you see now prophecy being fulfilled in just the interaction with family life, with your work life, your school life, all around. You know what I'm saying? Your neighbors, the interaction with people, and you seen them. Their hearts have grown so damn cold, but it goes back to what you taken away, the powers that you taken away from the citizens. Am I saying that anybody on the street should have the right to whoop your children? Hell no, I'm not saying that. But I am saying if one of my kids had a knife and they were trying to stab you and you had to defend yourself, I want you to be able to defend yourself. You know what I'm saying? Defend yourself.
I could be here.
Talk to me. Let's go talk over here.
The only one that get me called a disturbance out here.
So what's going on?
Ain't nothing going on. I'm telling her, okay, she was supposed to be trying to be here until a couple of houses hear her on fucking Stony Brook or some shit. They told her, that's it. But she's too disrespectful until I'm telling her to find her ass a shelter or something when she go to work or don't go to work. Whether she go to work or don't go to work today, she needs to find her ass somewhere to go. Because I be done went to jail behind her.
And it's sad. Look at how the rules have been twisted on the parents. If the kids don't go to school, the parent goes to jail. If the kid does something and destroys something out in the world, the parent has to pay for it. If the parent put their hands on the kid, they go to jail. So it's like in the society that we live in with children, we are held accountable for anything that these children do. Now, if you make the parents accountable for anything that the kids do, where is it when you make the children accountable for their own actions? Look at this woman. Disciplining her own child is going to cause her to go to jail.
She ain't got nowhere to go, but you got a flip ass mouth and a fucking child out here in this hole in this rain.
I got you.
I'm sitting up here talking to you, telling you about what the fuck is due, trying to have a grown folk conversation, but as soon as I say one or two words you don't like, it's all this attitude and now you want to come out the mouth, fuck you and bitch. So I slap the shit out of her. That's my child. I'm gonna slap the shit out of her anytime you get disrespectful on me.
And her daughter should know better. She should know better. But these children nowadays, they have a lack of respect for authorities, for parents, for old people and children. Just look at them. You know what I'm saying? Look at them. These children be attacking old people. These children be attacking little kids. You know what I'm saying? Look at them. Look at what the things that they be doing. And they have no respect for authority. You know how many times you see a kid out in the street and they be doing something and you would tell them to stop doing that because it's going to cause them harm, and they do it anyway. They do not have respect for elderly people.
Girl, she's 25. She should be her own shit.
When did you?
I did. I slapped her today. I sure did. And she throw oil on me, broke my motherfucking plan in there. I slapped her ass for calling me a whole disrespecting me and all the shit she doing because I'm telling her to get the fuck out. And you're telling me what the fuck you're finna do and you ain't finna move. Get the fuck out. You don't even live here. I'm trying to help you out. No.
I got you.
But I give you my whole life. I need them. I know about her.
I appreciate you.
But that's what I think the state wants. The state wants your children to be able to cut up all out in the street so they can slap that number on them and give them that cotton, give them that cell. That's what I think, because when you take the power away from the parent can't discipline their child. They become a damn hellraiser and a hell bent, causing all of this damn chaos in the damn street just so they could take your baby from you, so they can incarcerate them. So they could slap that number on them with a big old sign on them so they could be in there for a long period of time. That's what they're doing nowadays to fill up the prison systems. That's what is this what it's become?
Just like I told that man and that baby, when it's a child of my generation fucked up and they gonna get no better because these little badass motherfucking kids ain't raised up in no church nowhere. They don't know shit about responsibility. That's a 1-bedroom and I got a 1-bedroom on purpose. So I wouldn't let nobody motherfucking stay with me. I ain't got no room for nobody.
Was she wrong? You know what I'm saying? Her daughter is already 25 with a baby. You know what I'm saying? She starts smelling her stuff. She starts saying, Mama, you know, I can do better all by myself. And she left when she was 18, 19 years old. Now she back because she ain't got nowhere to go. Was she wrong for only getting a 1-bedroom for herself? Why have a 3-bedroom house if you got some disrespectful ass kids that's going to be in there?
Don't even want to be staying with me. And she going to have to find her somewhere else to go today. She definitely going to have to find somewhere else. Why are we upstairs?
They're just gonna go talk to who?
Why are we upstairs?
They're just gonna go talk to who? I guess
we're gonna have to come back to this one. I'm sorry, I got to keep it moving for tonight.
Keep it respectful. This is the child.
I ain't never seen all of Chicago united on one thing. I ain't never seen it like this. Out of all the topics, out of all the things that happen in society, I have never seen the world connected off of one thing. Does that look like fake tears? Does it look like she want to damn near laugh? Okay, when you see this young lady, do you really see any sympathy? Do you see any remorse? Do you see any guilt? Do you see any shame? You know what I'm saying? Anything inside of this young little girl saying that, yeah, I was really being a follower. I wasn't being a leader. I was just following the crowd. I am so sorry. Do you see that in her eyes? Do you see it in her actions? Do you hear it in her voice?
Is Kamari Grant.
Y'all know us. Our parents would have been beating our ass on the damn footage. The whole time that camera would have been on, you would have seen arms and legs and feet and stuff being thrown and screaming and yelling and crying, a little bit of blood somewhere. You know what I'm saying? You would have seen our generation, where we come from, you would have seen somebody being brutalized on the damn camera the whole time that I was talking. Say it again. You know what I'm saying? You know, black parents, you know, they'll whoop that ass. You know what I'm saying? You would have seen that the whole time.
It's okay. For everything that I did. And not to say anything, keep it respectful. This is the child.
And the first thing that Black Chicago said, okay, she said, keep it respectful. This is the child. Everybody said she need her ass beat. Everybody said that. Out of all the people that I have talked to, out of all the conversations that I have heard on the matter, everybody's saying the same thing. They need they ass whooped. But let's go back to the laws. It's illegal for a parent to hit a child. So they want us to have effed up children. You know what I'm saying? Children don't respect authority because they don't have to. You know what I'm saying? They don't have to respect authority. at all. All them kids involved with whooping that lady, they said they gonna get some. Inside of their head, they knew that they had a penny to pay. It was a price, but that price is so damn low that they laughed it off. So when is our society going to be harder on these children so they can fall in line with the law? But they don't want to do that because they want them they want all these little badass kids in the system so they can generate and profit money. You know what I'm saying? It's all about the money. You know what I'm saying?
My name is Kamara Grant.
What should be fair to happen to this little girl for what she did? She should go to kitty jail. You know, all them shows that they show with the scare straight and they send the little badass kids to prison and the prison guards and the prisoners be telling them how that they gonna make them toss their salads and how they gonna rape them and how they gonna beat them. That's not good enough. They gotta serve some type of time. You know what I'm saying? They gotta get some type. You be like, oh, Jehoshaphat, you being too hard, brother. You being too hard, brother. Did y'all see the footage? I refuse to show that footage of that woman being beat down the way that she is. I wouldn't even show that. Y'all seen what happened. You know what I'm saying? What do you think would be a fair judgment on what happens to them kids on terrorizing the community? What do you think should be done to them? I want to hear about it. I want to know about it. If they could stick my ass up in the horse stables full of shit for 500 hours, I'm pretty sure they could do the same thing to these little kids. And then check this out. The crimes that I did, the petty ass little crimes that I did at their age, I didn't put my hands on nobody. I didn't beat up nobody. I stole some stuff. You know what I'm saying? I ran from the police a couple of times. I stole all that stuff, but I never physically attacked anybody. But I still had a lengthy ass time that I had to serve for my actions as a child.
Shut up! Shut up!
Ready? Bring me everyone. What do you mean everyone?
That's what parenting used to look back in the day. That's what it looked like. You know what I'm saying? We knew that we would get our ass whooped. Belt to ass. And after that belt to ass, you're going to get a large punishment. It's going to be some months. You're going to really think about what you have done. But when you take away the power from the parents, how will they be able to discipline their children? The ones that are ashamed of this is the ones that took it upon themselves to beat their children. Now, nobody gets to discipline their children. It really falls on all them horrible ass parents that sit up there and beat their children in the wrong way.
You can't say. You can't say that on my son, okay?
Okay, bye-bye.
So was he wrong for defending his child, knowing that his child was out there being bullied by kids that's older than him? What happens when children, they don't fear the law and they really don't have no penalty that they will have to pay for being reckless and being evil to people in the street? It goes back to laws, but then it's just like I said before, they want your children to be locked up. They really do. They want your children, all the little badass kids, they want them to be locked up so they can raise them, so they can generate money. But then when does it go back to a parent being able to defend themselves and to defend their children? That little girl was sitting up over there beating on that little boy like that. She was. But if it was stiffer laws on the books, they would know that it would be a larger penalty that they would have to pay for the crimes that they commit.
Of Texas, do you have the right to defend yourself against a minor? You're at Peter Piper Pizza, celebrating your birthday with your homies, getting a slice of your pepperoni, bring it up to your mouth, and some 13-year-old with one of those haircuts comes up to you and slaps you across the face. Can you hit him back? I mean, it would be self-defense, but this is a 13-year-old. Can you hit him back? The state of Texas, do you have the right to defend yourself against a minor? You're at Peter Piper Pizza,
And I ain't never seen this. I ain't never seen the unification of different people all together on one accord in this country like that. All the black folk in California saying the same thing that the black people saying in Texas. All the black people, whatever they saying up in Nevada, they are saying over in Tennessee. All of us are saying the same thing. I have never seen unification over one subject and one matter. Everybody's saying the same thing. So that must lead me to conclusion that they are right. That's the same thing that God says. What are they saying? If everybody's saying the same thing about one person, then the people are right. Look, in this situation, it's all the people in the states and they all saying the same thing. So that lets me know that the people are right.
And if the motherfucking kids in Chicago it'd be children's teeth everywhere. Them motherfucking kids would have had broke jaws. It'd have been book bags in the motherfucking street, number 2 pencils every motherfucker wear. I'd have beat the shit out of every last one of them motherfuckers. Oh God. You ever seen a motherfucking child with a broke jaw? That shit would have, I'd have knocked they shit bike. Oh God. Got me fucked up, nigga.
So I'm going to leave the video here, and I hope that you liked it. I hope you subscribe, like, and comment. I want to hear what you have to say about these matters. Remember, the parents, they don't have no power like that. You know what I'm saying? The laws have changed. You know what I'm saying? These kids, they are not as scared of any adults. Look at how they act when they in packs and they take over stuff and they run through stuff. They're not scared of the law like that. In fact, they think it's all a game because they don't have no penny that they will have to pay afterwards. This is why they run wild. They don't respect authority. They don't respect authority. They don't listen to their parents. They love beating up on old people. They love beating up on little children. These laws in this country have to change. Now, from what we went over, I'm going to tell you again. If you put your hands on a child, they're going to look at you no differently than as if you murdered somebody. Now, if you was in a situation to where your life was really in danger and you murdered that person, you cool. So you really got to think before you act and you want to chastise one of these little badass kids. They know the law better than what we do, and they're not even terrified about it. I hear them talking. You can't hit me, and I'm a minor. I can't go to jail. You can't arrest me. They know all these things. What God said, he said, every generation that passes away from another generation, the older generation will always be strong, but the younger generation will always be weaker. They weaker, but they're smarter. You know what I'm saying? He said that the younger generations will be weaker, but they're smarter than we are. That's why they exploit and they play us the way that they do. We stronger than them because of where we come from. So I'm just saying, I want you to comment. I want you to like, share, and comment. I have never, and as long as I've been alive, I have never seen everybody united over one thing. You know what I'm saying? Now, if everybody can get united over one thing, that means that laws can change. They can. Parents, they got it bad. Kid don't go to school. They the ones who get locked up. Kids go out there and terrorize the whole communities and all the stores. The parents is the one that go to jail. You know what I'm saying? The kids steal stuff and do all of the stuff. The parents are the ones who actually paying for the damn crime. That doesn't make any sense.
That's the girl that been messing with you. How she is? Oh, well, I'm 3 too. I'm finna beat her ass. Oh, and I'm 3 with her. We finna square it up. Shoot. Ain't messing with my damn baby. Know what the hell going on here? What's up? You the girl who been messing with my child? What's up? What's up? I fight kids.
Okay, so this is a tutorial on what to do if some little kids try to jump you and your kids, okay? We're going to show y'all what to do next time, okay? So, because apparently they're out here jumping adults and we got to defend ourselves, okay? I'm going to show y'all. Stay.
Hey, Shima!